Welcome everyone. Here in the previous class we have seen how the DNA has been packed into a very small nucleus which is inside a very small cell which cannot be seen with our naked eyes. So it was all about how the DNA was packed. Here we have seen the structure of nucleosome. And now moving on to this, we are saying that right from the beginning we are saying that DNA is the genetic material. DNA is the genetic material. So now here how we can say that DNA is the genetic material. DNA, here it was the nuclein, the genetic material was first called as nuclein. Later it was that is called as genetic material. Then later it was called as nucleic acid. First it was called as nuclein by Friedrich Miescher, and then later on it was called as nucleic acid. So nucleic acid is nothing, is of two types, DNA and RNA. We say that DNA is the genetic material. DNA is the genetic material. How can we say that DNA is the genetic material? Okay, so DNA, many scientists have done lot of experiments on it, lot of research on it, many scientists. So like here at the time that is nuclein was discovered, then Mendel has postulated his theories, but still at that time also that structure of DNA was not known. Later on, after many years, that is the Watson and Crick, they developed the structure of DNA, that is double helical model of DNA. It was suggested by Watson and Crick, but the scientists were doing the experiments to prove that whether this DNA is the genetic material or not. Many scientists did lot of experiment. Here the first success, not proper success, a little success was got by the scientist Frederick Griffith. Many did many experiments, but here something which could lead to something more. The first thing which was discovered was by Frederick Griffith. His experiment is called as Frederick Griffith's experiment of transformation. His experiment was called as Griffith's experiment of transformation. So the first successful experiment was done by the scientist Frederick Griffith. So this Frederick Griffith, in order to do his experiment, he has taken two organisms. The first organism is a bacteria, that is Streptococcus pneumonia. Streptococcus pneumonia and mice. For doing his experiment, Frederick Miescher has taken two organisms. One is Streptococcus pneumoniae. This is a bacteria which causes a disease called as pneumonia. And the another organism which he has taken is mice. So by taking two organisms, he has done his experiment. So here now when we say the Streptococcus pneumonia is of two types. We find this in two types. One is the smooth strain, one is the smooth one, and the another is the rough one. Streptococcus pneumonia, we find it in two forms. That is, one is the smooth form and another is the rough form. In the smooth form, here around this bacteria, a cover was present. Polysaccharide coat was present. Around the bacteria, a capsule or a polysaccharide coat was present. So because of this, it gave smoothness. So here that is why it is called as smooth. The smooth Streptococcus pneumonia are having a polysaccharide coat covering that organism. Polysaccharide coat around its body. Whereas in this rough strain, in this rough Streptococcus pneumonia, this is absent. This coat is absent. The coat is not present. So the Streptococcus pneumonia with this polysaccharide coat is the smooth organ, that is smooth form, and the Streptococcus pneumonia without the polysaccharide coat, that is called as the rough one. So here two types of pneumonia are there, that is smooth and rough. And inside this also, as it is the smooth one, the smooth Streptococcus pneumonia, it is virulent in nature. It is virulent in nature. Virulent in the sense it is pathogenic in nature. It is pathogenic in nature, that is it can cause the disease. If this organism enters into the body of another organism, it can cause the disease. Okay, so this, the one with this coat is virulent bacteria, that is it is pathogenic. It can cause the disease, it can cause the disease inside the body of the organism. Whereas this rough Streptococcus pneumonia, it is non-virulent, that is non-pathogenic. Non-pathogenic, that is it is not able to cause the disease. Okay, so when this organism enters into the body of other organism, when this bacteria enters into the body of other organism, it is not able to cause the disease because it is non-virulent, it is not pathogenic, it is not able to cause the disease. But when this organism, when this bacteria enters into the body of another organism, then it will cause the disease called as pneumonia. It will cause a disease called as pneumonia. Okay, so here smooth and rough Streptococcus pneumonia are there, which is smooth is virulent and rough is non-virulent. In this also we have different strains. In the smooth Streptococcus pneumonia also we have different strains, that is S1, S2, S3. These are nothing but in this only many other types, many types. Or first, it was first discovered. Which one was first discovered? So here in the smooth also we have S1, S2, S3, S4, and then the rough also, rough Streptococcus pneumonia also we have different strains. We have different strains like R1, R2, R3. These are the different strains. So this Frederick Griffith, he has taken S3 strain and R2 strain for his experiment. He has taken S3 strain and R2 strain for his experiment. So I said you Griffith has taken two organisms. One is Streptococcus pneumonia and another is mice. In the Streptococcus, now he has taken S3 and R2. He has taken S3 and R2. Now how he has done this experiment, let us see this one. So what Frederick Mister did, he has taken the R2 strain, this one, R2 strain, which is non-virulent, non-pathogenic, and injected inside the mice, injected into the mice. He has taken the R2 strain and injected into the mice. He has, that is Frederick Griffith has inserted this bacteria, injected this bacteria inside the mice. Okay, as it is R2 strain, that is R strain, it means it is non-virulent. It means even if the mice, if the bacteria is inside the mice, if the bacteria is injected into the mice survived. Even after entry of bacteria into the mice, infection of bacteria into the mice survived. Why it survived? Bacteria is there now. Bacteria has entered into the body of the mice. We have injected the bacteria, that is Streptococcus pneumonia, into the mice, inside the body of the mice. Even after getting injected with this R2 strain, the mice survived. Why? Because R2 strain is non-virulent, non-pathogenic. It cannot cause any disease. Even if enters into the body of the other organism, it cannot cause the disease. So as R2 is unable to cause disease, that is why the mice survived. The mice was alive. It might survived. Now another, what he did after some time, he has taken the S3 strain. First he did with R2 strain. Now next he has taken S3 strain and injected into the mice. He has injected the S3 strain into the mice. Now it is S3. S3 means it is the smooth one, that is virulent and pathogenic in nature. This virus, this bacteria is pathogenic in nature. So what would have happened when the mice was injected with this S3? As S3 is pathogenic in nature, it is pathogenic in nature, that is virulent in nature, the mice died. The mice died because this bacteria, when entered inside the body of the mice, it has caused the disease, and because of that disease, mice died. Okay, now again what he did was, he has taken S3 only, but he has killed the bacteria using the heat. He has killed the bacteria using the heat. By heating, he has killed the bacteria. Now this H3 bacteria is killed one. Okay, it is killed one, it is dead. He has taken this heat killed bacteria and injected into the mice. What might have happened? He has killed the bacteria, he has killed bacteria, he has injected the heat killed bacteria into the mice. The mice survived. The mice survived. Why? Because it is the effect, that is, it is heat killed. The effect, there is no effect of bacteria. Even a bacteria was injected, because of the heat, there is no effect of the bacteria. Bacteria is killed, and that is why the mice survived. The same strain, without killing, if it was injected into the mice, it had died. But the strain, same strain, when it was killed, heat killed, and then again injected into the mice survived. This is the third step which he has done. First, it has taken R2, as it is non-virulent, it survived. Then he has taken S3, as it was virulent, the mice died because this S3 has caused the disease inside the mice. The third time he took heat killed S3. Because of this heat killing the bacteria, the mice again survived. Now what he did, till now it was taking only one strain. But now he has taken a mixed strain. He has injected both R2 as well as heat killed S3 inside the mice. He has injected both the strains. One is R2, that is non-virulent. This is non-virulent. And heat kill S3. That means it is not having capacity. No capacity to cause the disease. Because if it is heat kill, this bacteria has changed to non-virulent. Because of the heat, the effect of that microorganism, that is bacteria, has been gone. So now this is also non-virulent, this is also that is dead. This is the dead one and this is the non-virulent. Both of them does not have ability to cause the disease. This is not having the ability to cause the disease, and this is also not having the ability to cause the disease. So both of these strains has been injected into the mice. So what would have happened? Mice survived. Here mice should have been survived. Instead here mice died. Mice died. Why it has died? It is also non-virulent, and this is also having no effect at it as it is heat killed. So no effect here, and it is already non-virulent. Then mice should have survived now. There is nothing to cause disease in the mice. It is unable to cause the disease. It is unable to cause the disease. Even if injected also, it should have survived. Mice should have survived. But here the result was different. He has thought that the mice would have survived, but he got the different result. So instead of surviving, the mice died. Instead of surviving, the mice died. See here, when R2 was injected, the mice survived. When heat killed R3 was injected, the mice survived. So now both we have taken. So this is also it survived, this also it survived. So both this we have taken. So mice should have survived now. No, here in this case the mice has died. The mice has died. So he came to the conclusion that the R strain bacteria has somehow, this bacteria, that is the R strain bacteria, has somehow been transformed by heat kill bacteria. Heat kill bacteria has transformed this R2 bacteria. Transform in the sense has changed this R2 bacteria. So here what happens is, something from this heat kill has gone to this R2 bacteria. So here heat kill, that is S, was having this capsule. Okay. R was without capsule. So this is heat killed. This S was heat killed. Even this coat was present, it was unable to cause the disease. Even with the presence of this coat, R was not having the coat, S was having the coat. S strain means having the coat. But because of the heat kill, this coat was unable to cause the damage. Now because of this, when these two were mixed, something from here might have transferred to this R, which has made the R to get a cover. Because causing the disease is because of the coat. It is causing the disease now. Why? It has the coat around it, polysaccharide coat around it. So here he concluded that something from this heat kill strain has transformed this R strain, that it has caused the R strain to make a capsule on it, around it. There should have been something which has been there inside the S3 strain, which has caused this R to get a capsule around it. R, as usual, no capsule, but something has changed. Something from S has gone there and transformed this R strain into virulent strain. How? By making a coat around it. He was unable to explain that. He was unable to explain what was that which has made this transformation. What is the thing which has transformed the non-virulent R strain into a virulent strain? There is something, but he was unable to tell. There was something, but he was unable to tell. Okay, so now this was this basis. It get to somewhere that something is there which is transferring this R non-virulent strain into virulent strain. So, and which is leading to the transformation, totally transformed. R was non-virulent. Now R has totally transformed into a virulent strain. R, which was a non-virulent strain, something has happened to the R, that it changed from non-virulent strain to virulent strain, thereby causing the disease in the mice, because of which mice died. He was unable to explain what was that something which caused the non-virulent R strain to change into a virulent strain. He was unable to point it out. Okay, but he gave us something, that something is there which is transferring. Something is there which is transferring. Okay, so this was further explained by another three scientists. They has taken the experiment, this experiment further, which we will see in the next class. So, but as of now, this Griffith was able to get something, conclude something, that there is something which is transferring. He was unable to get what was that thing. He was just only able to get that there is something which is transferring the non-virulent strain into a virulent strain. He was unable to tell what it was, which was further said by experiments, with the help of the experiments from the other three scientists. We will see in detail about that in our next class.